Hi, everybody. I just want to come on and continue my video series on spirit teachings and inspirations. I will be using this book, my latest find. I'm so thrilled. Light from Silver Birch, compiled by Maurice Barbanel's secretary, who was the medium for Silver Birch. Um, these are the last teachings of Silver Birch before Maurice Barbanel passed in July 1981, I believe. Yes. I love Silver Birch. I read a ton of spiritualism books of old spiritualists, spirit guide teachings, teachings from the spirit world. I'm a junkie with these books. Silver Birch tends to be, the teachings of Silver Birch tend to be where I always go back to. It's my touchstone. It reminds me, all of the teachings remind me that I've come here for a purpose. The purpose is for me to learn. The is for my soul to progress. And that without rain, there are no flowers. And it's within the darkness that you find your light. Okay, so if you don't know about Silver Birch, you can find examples of the teachings on the internet. Spiritual Truth Foundation, it's based in the UK. They have all his books republished, reprinted in paperback. They're not that expensive as these vintage ones. But the chapter that I'm just would like, I don't think I'm going to get to it all. I might do a part two. Um, why Were You Born is what the chapter's called. So I'm just gonna, I printed some of it out, so I'm just going to read a bit. It really resonates with me, and I'm hoping it's going to resonate with some of you as well. Okay, chapter two, Why Were You Born? The object of all earthly existence is that the human spirit is to be quickened. Earthly life has a purpose for all who dwell on your planet. It is sad that there are many of millions who are unaware of the spiritual reality on which their lives are based. Like troglodytes, they live in the spiritual gloom that is almost a vacuum. Once you are aware of the spiritual truths, you are transformed because you know it is what you must achieve. We are all human beings, thus we all have flaws and imperfection within us. If we were perfect, we would not need to be in your world or you in ours. We would be joined with the Great Spirit, the only perfect power in the universe. Because so we don't come here to be perfect. We come here to learn. There is no such thing as perfection. Even in the spirit realm, I feel like you're going to continue to progress and evolve, and the only perfect being is the Great Spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call this divine creator of all life. But we come here to have our eyes opened. We come here to be shaken, to be awoken. And it is in these times when things seem dark and we close our eyes and move away from these challenges, these teachings that are placed in front of you during your life here on earth, that's where the test comes in. That's where you have to make a choice because it is all free will, always. Do you want to stay asleep or do you want to wake up? So that's sort of what he's talking about in terms of coming here. It, the spirit realm is on a quicker frequency, a higher frequency than we are. So though we are living in the physical realm at this point, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So it's sort of a dichotomy between being in a sluggish, slower world, but all of that within all of that is encased this pure being of light that is quicker. So we have to sort of find this balance between the two to learn and grow and quicken our spirit and also succeed and function in the physical realm. So it's more about not looking at what life is doing to you. Why are these things happening to me? It's more about what can I learn from this? How can I move through this and grow? So I love the way that chapter starts. And here we go. Sorry, I guess I actually moved ahead of myself. So the next part of this chapter is that you must regard every problem as a challenge, not only to be met and accepted, but to overcome so that the indwelling spirit as a result is more fortified, grows, develops, unfolds as you emerge stronger. It is not possible for you to dwell in the earthly surroundings and not be confronted with the heights and depths and the ups and downs of the varying circumstances which pertain to your world. It is why you are placed there, so you can, because of these circumstances, enable your spirit, the eternal you, to be able to express the latent qualities that can be manifested only when confronted with difficulty and adversity. It is not when the sun shines that your soul finds itself. It is not in a bed of roses that the soul comes into its own. It is in the hazards and challenges, the difficulties, the hurdles, and the obstacles. These provide the only means by which the soul can realize its latent divinity. This is the story of every pilgrim on the road to spiritual knowledge. There has to be heartbreak, sorrow, and suffering to fully appreciate the compensations that will follow. The individuals who give service must be tried and tested, sometimes to their uttermost strength. So, sort of kind of what I said before I read that. Um, it's always easy to have faith in life when everything is going well, to trust life when everything's going well for you. That's not normal, right? But it's within the dark times, in the challenges, that your faith is tested. That's when your spirit awakens. It is within the storms and the turmoil that your spirit becomes galvanized and toughened and harder. Those of us who have been touched, I feel, by the spirit to be their voice here in the physical realm and to allow them to work through us for their divine service, which is to help humanity, we get tested the most. Not because our calling is more important, but because the path is harder. And Spirit wants brave and bold and tough spirits, us people, to be their voice here. The adversities that we face externally and internally in our own struggles with thinking that we're good enough and thinking that, we're imposters and people sort of talking down to us or making fun of us that we're doing this woo-woo sort of work and just be normal. Why can't you be like everyone else? All of these things. We get these challenges because the spirit world and God, the great spirit, know that we can handle it. And if we would just hunker down and go on this path and get through these challenges and realize that nothing can touch your spirit, nothing in the physical realm can move you off, out of your light. The only thing that can dim your light is you. Okay? If you allow other people or situations to dim your light or places or you're with people that make you swallow your light, you have the right to leave. You can move. You're not a tree, right? So you need to realize that all of these challenges, all of these things, these hardships that we're confronted with, they're the opportunity for your spirit to wake up, to evolve, to build, right? Everything you learn, I made it through that. I survived through that. And I'm still here. I didn't melt into a puddle of water. I survived through that. No matter how hard it is, you can survive through it. And when you survive through it, you become stronger. And hopefully you've learned a little bit about life and about yourself and spirit. Then you can go out and help other people that perhaps can't see this light or can't find the light within or can't find this trust within to know that it's really within the storms that you can see is the only time you can really see the light and appreciate the light is through a storm, through the darkness, that you can start to see rays of light coming through. So it's very important to really look at this life as lessons to learn, as bitter pills to swallow, which they are in a lot of respects. I understand that, but they're a necessity for your evolution and for your progression. There's nothing here that's permanent. There's nothing in the physical realm that's eternal, right? We all leave. Our bodies will decompose. Our spirit will go on. So when we leave this realm, everything that we learn through life, I believe, goes back into the collective intelligence of the spirit world, and that then everyone learns that, right? Because the spirit world is about a land of thought, a world of thought. So anything that we're learning and then we understand about life, we're helping all humanity, present and future, right? So it's important to remember that. Just you've been picked, you've been chosen to be the voice of the spirit realm here, and we are tried and tested the most. That's true from ourselves and from the external world. Okay, so don't think that this path is causing you to suffer. It's not. These are just tests that are placed in front of you to make you become stronger, and you will inevitably move into the greatest possible good for yourself and for all humanity and the spirit realm and here. Okay. The next part the next part that Silver Birch just talks about, he talks about the natural law a lot. People always ask me about that. What's the natural law? There is a natural law, and I believe that's the law of cause and action and reaction, cause and effect. Okay, so he talks a little bit about that. So you know that action and reaction are equal and opposite. You know you have to plumb the depths before you reach the heights, and you know once you have plumbed the depths that you have not quite reached the heights, that is why you have doubts about surviving, but you will survive. I don't mean permanently in your realm because immortality is not a part of earthly existence. That's what I just said, really. But in terms of the natural law, you really get what you give out, right? If you give out love, you give out understanding, you give out compassion, that's what you get back, right? If your life is filled with doubt and you really focus on how horrible it is, and there's not an end to the suffering, not an end to the turmoil, the hardships, that's kind of where you stay. So I'm not saying that you don't have the right to be upset if bad things are happening in your life or you're going through hard times. But as always, you have to remember there is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is something to see because if you just sit there and you keep giving out doubt and fear and sort of just the spirit, I'm sorry, my God's talking to me. If you give out doubt and fear and sort of make it, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me, instead of what can I learn from this, it's just it goes into a cycle, right? So it is cause and effect. It is every action brings a reaction. So you give out trust and faith, you get back help and support, right? You give out fear and doubt and a feeling of helplessness, and it becomes very quiet. And it's hard to really change that. Once you're in that, it's hard to sort of readjust it, but you just have to remember thoughts are power, thoughts are energy. So try to keep your thoughts as positive as possible when it comes in terms of your life and your own spirit, because that everything will work out. That's really what I do when problems come, and problems definitely come. But I always say this is a necessary part of my life, and I know only good will come from this. But I try to face it head on because I think with action and reaction, if the action I give out is to be courageous and bold, I know then I will reap the rewards or for that, right? And I get more support. So I really try to give out as much positivity as I possibly can to a point. You know, you have to be aware that there are people who might be will suck your energy out. So that's also you don't want to just give away everything into a void, right? I want to help as many people as possible, but I also understand that I can't help everybody, and certain people are just not really can't be helped by me. They need to find someone else, or they have to help themselves first, which is usually more of the case. But it's important to remember we are in a natural law. It is give and take. It is, you really do get what you give. So I really try to give out as much light as I possibly can so I can get as much light as I possibly can, to give out as much support and help as many people as possible, to be of service to as many people as possible, so I can get the support from the spirit realm and from God, from the Great Spirit, um, to give me more support and more strength so I can go out and help more people if possible, or if that's in my timeline. Okay, I'm probably gonna do a 2 video part of this. I'm just gonna read this last part. Hopefully, I'm not boring everyone. Hopefully, you're with me. Okay, so they just talk about the physical realm a bit more. Okay, our realm here on Earth. Yours is a very dense material world where the vibrations are heavy, slow, sluggish, and ponderance. The vibrations of the spirit are delicate, sensitive, subtle, and to be expressed, there has to be a catalyst for the individual. You will not find the spiritual truths when the sun is shining. If you are surrounded by riches and wealth and possessions, you will not find spiritual truths when you have no problems. The catalyst will work only when you are in trouble. A storm can often do more help to unfold yourself spiritually than the sun. It is in the fire that the steel is forged. Okay, so the steel becomes harder when you raise the temperature. It is in the crushing process that the gold is refined and purified to emerge as the glistening color. And it is similarly, it is, sorry, excuse me, it is similar for the human spirit to be tried and tested again and again before it can emerge with a greater divinity being expressed than has happened before. The gold is there. We have the gold. Our spirit is the gold, right? The part of our spirit that has the light of God within it. That's the gold, right? We all have it, but it makes itself known and it expands and it grows when it's crushed, right? When the weight becomes so heavy around it, that's when the gold becomes the shiny, glittering, um, precious metal, which it is already, but it just hasn't been through the process, this violent, painful process of being crushed and smashed and all that, right? So think about it like that. Like your spirit is perfect. Your spirit is gold. Your spirit is a diamond, same thing from pressure, but with the pressure of the earth and the grinding and the unbelievable weight that it can sustain. And when it's removed from that weight, when the problem moves past, which all problems do, you have a beautiful, glittering, precious stone or this precious metal that's been transformed into another way of us to look at it. The properties are the same, but the result changes because of the environment. So think about your problems, think about your hardships, think about whatever you're going through, that it's a way to create gold. It's a way to create a diamond. It's a way to take the raw materials that we have and with the pressure, with the sorrow, with the pain, as it crushes us or feels like it's crushing us, when that moves away and you're back in the light and back in a quieter stage of your life, you emerge a precious gemstone, a precious metal that has been refined and has been transformed. We are all gold and diamonds here in the rough. Oh, I like that. That's good. Then that's not from Silver Birch. That's from me. We're all gold and diamonds here in the rough, right? And it is within our life, within the pressures of our life, that they emerge and they change and they transform themselves into these valuable materials that are good for everybody and good for yourself and help yourself. They can help you. The more you can shine, the more light comes to you. The more you can glitter, and the more you can glisten, the more light you reflect as well back out into the world. Okay, I'm gonna probably do a part two of this because there's a whole other page of text that I didn't get to, but I think this video is long enough. Anyway, so that's spirit teachings and inspirations number 13, and there will probably be a number 13 part two. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you all soon. Bye.